Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today and welcome to an Elder Scrolls Online discussion video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the upcoming expansion launching on June 7th of 2017, Morrowind, where we return to Vvardenfell, and a lot of you guys have been asking me for my thoughts on this expansion as well as if it's nostalgia bait, which is mainly what I'm going to be focusing on today. Overall, I like the idea of going to Morrowind. I said this in a previous video where I covered the leak of Vvardenfell, and I thought to myself that honestly, this looks like a fantastic idea for Elder Scrolls Online. I constantly find myself coming back to this game and always getting engrossed in its questing experience as well as just its world, mainly because I love Tamriel so much. So for me, more Elder Scrolls, the better, but also I like the idea of going back to Morrowind because I think this is a big hook with Elder Scrolls Online that perhaps newer fans might not understand. Now, I'm not going to act like I'm an age-old vet. My first Elder Scrolls, like many others, was Morrowind. So seeing that, yes, is why there's a bit of nostalgia bait there. I'm not going to argue that. But it's also just cool because part of the framework and why ESO is so interesting for myself as well as other Elder Scrolls fans is because it's interesting to explore and see the origins of some of our favorite regions we have seen in other ES games, as well as ones that we wish to explore. Ebonheart, Kvatch, Anvil, Daggerfall, and the list goes on. And I think that this is just a natural expansion of the idea of Elder Scrolls Online, which is seeing the origins of Morrowind, how certain places were built. I know we're going to see Vivec City. They mentioned that in the Bethesda Net article when they announced the Morrowind expansion. So for me personally, like I said, it just seems like a natural expansion upon the ideas that Elder Scrolls Online has been built off of. Yes, there is most certainly nostalgia bait there. More than likely, Bethesda knew, well, people love Morrowind. Let's bring Morrowind back in some way, but also increase the popularity of the growing MMO, which is Elder Scrolls Online. But on the other hand, I think there's a bit more to it. I think this is also a response to Skyrim Special Edition. Skyrim Special Edition sold exceedingly well in its month despite being a 5-year-old game. It outsold tons of games that were releasing as well as sequels to new IPs and stuff. I mean, seriously, it's really impressive how well Skyrim Special Edition did in sales. I think it nearly hit about 500,000, which is just overall pretty impressive in my opinion for a upres. So how exactly is this a response to Skyrim Special Edition? Well, since then there's been this huge demand for Bethesda to remaster absolutely everything they've ever done, whether it was Oblivion, Fallout 3, or Morrowind, especially Morrowind, which I think would do the best in an HD remake. So when I look at it this way, ever since Skyrim Special Edition launched, we got Oblivion on backwards compatibility, and soon after, we received an announcement for Morrowind returning in a unique fashion. Bethesda has openly said in the past, yeah, we can't remaster our games because it would essentially be making a whole brand new big game, and since Bethesda's games are huge, it would just be a kind of weird investment for them to make when they could just make something new and refreshing for gamers instead of nostalgia baiting them, which I respect, but also kind of wish they do that for some of their games, like I said, mainly Morrowind. Still, adding Oblivion to backwards compatibility, bringing Morrowind back in this unique fashion, I don't find that coincidental. They more than likely anticipated the response with Skyrim Special Edition. Okay, people are going to want us to remaster more games. How can we handle this? But I also don't believe that that's the core behind the design decision of bringing Morrowind to ESO. Like I said, a lot of the framework of the exploration is finding the origins of these places during its point in the timeline, because ESO takes place before most Elder Scrolls games. Also, as a business, you don't really run away from guaranteed support. If I'm Bethesda and I'm thinking, wait, we can bring Morrowind into ESO, our most beloved game in that franchise more than likely, I'd say, then yeah, I think that the smart decision is to bring Morrowind in there. There's no question whatsoever. It just seems like a natural expansion and the smart idea to do, and I'm completely on board with this idea, especially because I've advocated that ESO is a game that has consistently improved and impressed me over the years, especially with all the deals and sales it's gone on, and now with Morrowind re-releasing. If you guys are interested in this, do keep in mind that when you buy Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind, that you actually are going to be getting the full ESO Tamriel Unlimited package alongside the Morrowind expansion. So if you're interested in picking up this title, this is going to be a good place for first timers to come along and try out ESO and find out why it's so special and why it's improved so much. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind in the comments down below. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, the links are in the description down below. As always, be sure to consider contributing to the Patreon. It fuels all the content we create here. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.